are still in employment in Chakra. And we only request temporary suspension of these people pending the inquiry so that we can go back there with a sense of confidence.
But this is the specific issue that we have identified, that the underlying motivation and the interstate nexus, not intrastate nexus, which is singularly responsible for what has ultimately happened, needs to be investigated. We have identified individuals in our application. That
transfer of the Commissioner Police, the DC North, the Director Medical Education and Director Health Service, all of them have been transferred.
They wanted resignation,
Now,
my lords. It could be based on a prima facie appreciation of the status reports and the CBI investigation, sought to be suspended temporarily from their positions until the investigation is over.
Well, this is
That
one of
is
the
what we're
prayers.
seeking, my lord.
Well, this is one of the prayers which we have made in an application file before the court, which I would like to address you on. Well, today, repeatedly, it has been said that the doctors are not going back to work. The first statement I wish to make is the state of West Bengal has acknowledged in its reply that we are all back at work. I would like that statement. One second. Yes, it is. No, Mr. Mehta, it is linked. I'm trying to explain what accounts for the 51-day delay in their going back to work. I'm making a statement. I made a commitment on the last date of hearing that they will hold a general body and take a decision to go back to work. I am discharging that obligation by making a statement in writing that they have all gone back to work, and the state of West Bengal has acknowledged that in a reply filed by them today. So that issue, my lord, can be put to rest. No. Secondly, my lord, now the question is, what about the repetition of what happened last time? It is in that context that we say that the people who are being investigated by the CBI, 7 in number, are still in employment. And all that we are requesting is, this is the reason they didn't go back, because these people who are under investigation are still in employment in Chakra. And we only request temporary suspension of these people pending the inquiry so that we can go back there with a sense of confidence that they will not target us. Lord, I know an undertaking has been given and I make a statement, we've not been targeted. I've made that statement, my Lord. But how does one expect them to work in the same college when the same people who are under investigating are still, my Lord, in positions of power? Therefore, only they should be suspended. My Lord, I know that no disciplinary action can be taken against them until a proper inquiry is held. But surely, my Lord, they can be suspended to inspire that confidence.
Let's hear Mr. Dwivedi. Yes,
that's what we have not in this language, but we have hinted at that, my lord, that if your lordship comes to page 7, just, my lord, at the top of the page, doctors belonging to so-and-so and also members of so-and-so, they claim that they tried to pacify the agitating trainee doctors. However, the agitating trainee doctors allege that aforementioned doctors were working on behalf of administration and also obstructing protests. Further investigation is.
Lord, let's leave aside the protest. We are not be told again and again, you're protesting, you're not going back to work. Lord, it's been a big effort convincing them to go back to work. We've succeeded and they have gone back to work. But the reason I'm raising this issue is, my Lord, I don't want to come back to the court and say it's happening all over again. So let them just go on leave. I will give the names.
Please give the names to the CJI.
No,
And I will give the names as well, my lord.
Chief Justice is saying it's for the state.
Mr. Saidi.
please, my application 213387 is specifically on this issue on behalf of doctors working across the state of West Bengal, where we have named specific individuals who are involved as part of the so-called mafia, syndicate, nexus, whatever my lord seems to call it. But this is the specific issue that we have identified, that the underlying motivation and the interstate nexus, not intrastate nexus, which is singularly responsible for what has ultimately happened, needs to be investigated. We have identified individuals in our application. That is the application number 213387.
Now,
So we will share those details.
Presently, we are looking at two aspects of RG. One, the actual incident which took place, and the issue of financial irregularities.
This goes beyond RG.
Now,
Is the
It does go beyond that, my lord.
Absolutely.
No, Lord, today it's a question of
Just one
doctors
second.
going back to work.
The only question is that today, if we expand the investigation across other hospitals,
Please.
then we'll be in a situation where CBI will be left with an impossible situation. we are focusing on RG but rest assured, thereafter we'll see on what further to do. You have moved that application, that's important. At this stage, I think what you can do is, you can, Mr. Solicitor, you can look at the, IA, so that, if there is any further, if there is a need for broadening the investigation, you can apprise the court, and then we can pass whatever supportive orders are necessary to effectuate that purpose. Because if this is a part of a broader nexus, either intra or interstate, then certainly this is a matter which we'll have to entrust to the CBI, of course. But before we do that, we must have some concrete material from the applicants and which we must share with the CBI.
Because we have been cautious in sharing the material because of the investigation is pending. I said, I have it in writing, but I'm not mentioning the names.
They are not going to take action because of the various doctors or groups of doctors or associations who are coming up with their own grievances and asking for here and there. Just a minute, please. On the last occasion, my lord, when the doctors association met, my lord, the CM, the Chief Minister, my lord, then they requested transfer of the Commissioner Police, the DC North, the Director Medical Education and Director Health Service, all of them have been transferred. My lord,
They
from there.
wanted resignation,
Now-
my lords.
Now resignation, dismissal, removal, so that's the whole problem.
He was given a,
No, my lord, no.
the commissioner of police was
Just that,
given a promotion.
for an inquiry, that somebody, suppose that is challenged.
That was the plea, my lords. The resignation was
Has,
the plea.
would that even stand? It has
Demand.
action which is.
And this is what they want.
They're not making any such demand. Let them go and leave.
Just allow me. my lord.
Demands, my lord.
Now, this is all of them signed it, but this is what they gave to us. We gave it to your
My
lordship
lord,
at the last.
may I
occasion.
just, your lordship will.
Now, further, my lords, as and when, my lord, the CBI gives us, my lord, any information about any person, my lord, however high or low, of having been involved, my lord, in something, or that, my lord, his presence is not required, he should be removed, or he will be action will be
I
taken
would only
against them.
request, my lord, I would only
No
request,
difficulty.
I would request, my lord, them to give me those names in a sealed cover. I will pass it on to CBI.
No, unto the state.
Just one. A fourth status report dated 30 September 2024 by the DIG, Head of Branch, Special Crime -1 CBI, has been submitted to the court. Full stop. The status report indicates the leads on the investigation, which are being followed up by the CBI, and the steps which have been taken in the course of the investigation. Next. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors have submitted their concerns to the effect that, full stop. Uske pehle I just don't say that, learned counsel. Without full stop, at this stage it would be inappropriate, at this stage, where the investigation is in progress, it would not be appropriate to set down the details of the investigation or the leads which are being followed by the CBI, since that would compromise the status and effectiveness of the investigation. Full stop. At the same time, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, don't say at the same time, the CBI, as it appears before the court, is conducting an investigation on two facets. First, the alleged rape and murder which took place on 9 August 2024 at RG Medical College and Hospital. And second, the allegations in regard to financial irregularities, which was also entrusted for the investigation of the CJI by the orders of the Division Bench of the Calcutta High Court.